George and Mildred McCoy were slaves in Kentucky in the United States during the 1800s. Eventually, they escaped to Canada with the Underground Railroad. And once they got there, their son Elijah was born. Now, he was a bright child, and he eventually went off to Edinburgh in Scotland to study mechanical engineering. And after qualifying, he decided to go back to America to ply his trade, ironically, with a railroad company. However, the only jobs that he could find with the Michigan Railroad Company was not as an engineer, but as an oiler who was supposed to oil the machinery. He also worked as a fireman, someone who had to feed the fires in order to keep the steam engines going. And this was definitely not what he had in mind, and it didn't reflect the enormous potential that he had. However, Elijah was not limited by his job title. You see, back in that day, the railroad industry had a problem. The trains frequently had to stop for the steam engines to be oiled. And this led to immense loss in time, which meant a great loss in money for the rail companies. And Elijah was aware of this problem. But instead of just keeping to his job description, just feeding the fires or just oiling the machines, he stayed true to his calling as an engineer. And he used his free time to develop an automatic lubricating cup for oiling the steam engines of the trains and also of ships. This invention was a revelation, and it boosted productivity and profitability because trains could make their journeys a lot faster. Now, he wasn't the only one to come up with an idea like that. There were many other lubricating systems that were developed during that same era. However, Elijah's was so good that railroad engineers asked for it by name. They didn't want any counterfeits. They wanted the real McCoy. Elijah McCoy faced a lot of prejudice against him. He didn't get the opportunities he should have gotten with his talents. However, he never hid behind his disadvantages. Instead, he made the best of what he had. And he stayed true to what he was called to do. Even though he didn't get the job he wanted, he continued to work hard and he developed his talents and used his skills to eventually make a huge difference to the industry he was called to work in. And when he died, he had more than 50 patents registered to his name. So friends, I want to encourage you. Don't be limited by your background or the lack of opportunities that you may have. Stay true to your calling and go out with courage. Develop your skills and become the best you can be. Whatever your industry or line of work, be the genuine article. Be the real McCoy.